Yes! What's good, warriors? Hope everyone's well, happy, healthy, had a top Christmas, New Year, ready to rock for 2020. So here we go. We're in Manchester. It's pissing down, so we're here to do a video on the start of creation and how we come to be as a human race, as promised. Sorry it's took so long. I've just been mad busy. I've got so many amazing things lined up for you guys to come and experience, so I can't wait to release them. So let's get into this now. So the start of creation, and we did this in a workshop yesterday. Well, this saying in a workshop yesterday, it seems, and this is from the Matrix, it says, no matter what you do and how much you try to figure it out and make sense of this world and the way it works, something just doesn't fit. It doesn't seem right, it doesn't seem fair. It seems like no matter how much that we try and balance out and make things clarity for how things and how creation works, it's just a splinter in your mind. You think something's not right. Yeah, this world doesn't seem fair or set up right, or this system doesn't seem fair or set up right. So many people are starving, hungry, no shelter, no food, and you've got the rich that are, just absolutely bleeding the system dry, And I seen this on a meme the other day. It said, it's not that we can't feed or not got enough to feed the poor, it's that we can't satisfy the rich. Yeah? But shout out to all them people that are wealthy people and have worked hard, but are putting their arm back to pick others up or to build projects or to build things out of empathy and compassion to help and balance out the human race from the goodness of their hearts. So it seems there's a splinter in the mind, and Morpheus says this in the Matrix. So I'm here to tell you and to give you a perspective from the start of creation, how we come here to be, that maybe people can start to make sense. If you're just in this tunnel vision, you're working, you're quite attached to this physical world, and then you're thinking, why do I feel these things inside? I put a post on earlier today about things start to get harder and your life starts to get more difficult, but you're not doing anything different. You're doing what you've always done. You're going to work, you're doing the things that you need to do, but for some reason you're not getting that satisfaction, that fulfillment. But you're not doing anything different than you were years ago, but for some reason you're not feeling that boom, that energy, that love, that fulfillment, that motivation, that enthusiasm. Why? Because the energy is raising on the planet, and your soul is you. It's smarter than this body and this mind, and it will guide you to where you need to be, into the decisions that you need to make, to why you came to this earth as a human being at this time. So if I was to ask you now, why did you come to earth? It can be a rhetorical question for now, but if you really think to that, why did you come to earth? It can open up so much more for you. So I'm going to give you some things from the start of creation. Maybe it can open your perspective onto things in this world, to how it works, to think, actually, oh yeah, that makes sense to why that's like that and that's like that. So let's get into it. I'm going to take you from the start of creation to how we come from the Big Bang into the dinosaurs, this planet getting chosen to live on, the human race coming and evolving, other galactic beings coming to interfere with the human race, then how we come into fall and to rise back up into consciousness now into this journey that we're on to bring peace to Earth. So let's get into this. Now, at the start of creation, I want you to imagine this crackling, rippling energy. Like, if you get a whip and you're whoosh, 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 and that crackling whip, whoosh, whoosh. So you just imagine that pure love, that pure God energy, boom, boom, boom. You can imagine when you're a child, can't you? And you're whipping and you get that, when you get that whipping, it sounds good, doesn't it? You do that 10, 20, 30, 40 times, you're going to start to get a little bit bored. So what God decided to do is to explode into this universe, to experience life in multiple particles, to give us and grant us the greatest gift of free will for him to experience himself through us, yeah, and through creation. Now, when this exploded, the universe started to teem with life. Now, the first stage of creation which come onto this earth were the dinosaurs, yeah? So we need to thank our reptilian brothers, ancestors, cousins, however you want to frame it, because we have got this reptilian energy within us. This is why our females produce eggs, we shred our skin. We've got the reptilian brain located at the back of our skull, which is over 250 million years old. That's a part of our brain that if it's damaged, we can't recover from that. That's our fight or flight survival mechanism of our brain, the oldest part of our brain. Now, the dinosaurs have been on this planet a long time, longer than us. So if you imagine this is a calendar, okay, and this is January, yeah, I'll start this side. This is January, and this is December, and this is the whole creation. The dinosaurs have been on the planet all the way up to about December the 21st, say we're on about December the 26th. Now, that's how long the dinosaurs were on that planet, so the Ice Age until up to now, yeah. Then the next, when they've come off the planet, okay, and that existence has been wiped out, the next stage of evolution was the animal kingdom and the sea kingdom, okay? So these come into play, okay? As these started to fold out, the next strand, what was chosen was the mammalian strand, okay? You see this from apes. This is why people think we come from monkeys. We didn't come from monkeys. We've got a strand of that mammalian strand within our DNA. That's why we like to be in communities, and we like to be with our young, and we in packs, and we build homes and nests, okay? So these are the two strands that we are on, yeah? Mammalian and reptilian lines. The mammalian brain is at the front. This is our monkey mind, okay? This is where we make our decisions from, and we see both sides of the same coin, yeah? And this is where a lot of problems within mental health can start to come from, because the monkey's chattering all the time, wanting something to do, yeah? That's why you got to give the monkey a banana to be in the present moment, to be in doing and flowing in the beingness of who we are. Now, there's another strand of DNA which is within us. Now, the next stage of evolution was the human race, okay? So that the other strand of our DNA, which the governments do not want us to know about, is a galactic strand. This is where the infinite beings that we are came into play, mammalian, reptilian, and this galactic strand of DNA. So, how do humans come onto this planet when the vibration of the earth is very light in energy, okay, but it's got quite dense now, it's so tight, the molecules are so tight together. The next stage of evolution was the human race, where the Elohim, the pure creative raw energy, slowed their vibration down to enter the first two tribes, the first two vessels, the first two tribes into vessels to start the human race, which originated from Africa. One black, one white, both African, okay? Now, there's 7 root races within the human race, okay? So, when the black and the white tribe bred together, they will create the next stage, which would be a brown strand, okay? Then when the brown strand of the brown ancestors then bred with the black become the red, and so on and so forth. Red with white, brown with white, ba-boom, ba-boom, from the yellow to Asian. And then this is where the 7 root races come from these 2 tribes, yeah? So that's where the 7 root races come from the continents, and us as a human species now interbreeding. And now this can trace this back all the way to our ancestors, okay? So back to the story. So when these two tribes come onto the earth, they was very light and very high in consciousness, okay? And how can I describe this? I've said it before, like a burlesque dancer. If you imagine energy just vroom, 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 just waving, not just us. The soul has such a hard time condensing itself into just this tight body so much. No wonder people are having so many problems these days, because the soul is condensed into this little tiny body, so dense, when the soul is so vast and big and beautiful. How it first come to be on this earth. Now, the human race was going to plan. Everything was going to right. We lived coherence for the animal kingdom, the circle of life. Everything was beautiful. There was peace on earth. This was a paradise. Now, the first fall and the first act that wasn't part of the divine plan, or wasn't supposed to be part of the divine plan, was when a race of beings, okay, more advanced than the human race at this time. Our solar system goes round like this, yeah? And there is a planet that goes round like this, planet Nibiru, okay? That comes round every 33,000 years. Now this happened a long time ago. Now, these beings had been at war with another race of beings on their planet, yeah? And they are doing what we could do now. They burnt their planet out of all its natural resources, okay? And that planet died, okay? Because this planet's alive, as you know, she's alive. But they burnt her out of all her natural resources, and they had to leave that planet because they couldn't survive on it no more. So these were fifth dimensional beings. Now, I don't like to use labels too much, because when you use labels, it can run away from the truth. But these beings were the Anunnaki, which means gods from the sky, but it wasn't gods, okay? So what had happened, the nearest planet when it was coming round to inhabit was planet Earth, okay? But their frequency was much different and much higher than the frequency that the human race were living on at this time. So what they had to do to enter this dimensional space, they had to slow their vibration down, vroom, 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 to enter planet Earth. And when they come to Earth, there was part of the human race that was in all of these winged beings. You read this in the Bible, this is in scriptures. Inca and Ike come and interfered with the human race and this plan of creation. Now, what happened is, some of these beings were idolized by the human race, and these were their gods. So they said, wow, these must be our gods, and they give away their free will to these to work for these beings. What do you need, Majesty, sir? What do you need? Boom, 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 you know? And because the human race were not as evolved as these beings at this time, there was only two tribes that said, these are not our gods. We are not going to worship these beings. We are going to stay true to the one source, to the one creator, okay? And these beings were the two tribes that are still on this earth now. One has moved down to New Zealand and Australia, around there, and one has moved over to America, okay? Now, this energy has been trying to wipe these two tribes off the planet since the start of the fall of consciousness. Why? Because these two tribes hold all the wisdom and the true way of life, how to live coherence on this planet in peace, in harmony with the earth, yeah? So, the Anunnakis implemented the first systems and tried to enslave the human race, but we're never being slaves, okay? We have always got the free will and the choice every day to who we want to be and the choices that we want to make. Now, these beings implemented the first royal bloodlines, where the royal family has come from. Now, this is where the hierarchy and the lowerarchy come. These beings brought technology to the earth. Now, you've heard of the saying when we ate from the tree of knowledge, because we want the knowledge and we wanted to be technologically advanced. Okay, these beings built the pyramids. Now, the pyramids will never be built again. They are perfect heavenly alignments, the exact coordinates, the speed of light, built to the stars in the solar system. The pyramids were used for many different things, built from top to bottom, okay, used for these beings to go in to recharge. These beings didn't need to eat. These beings were self-sufficient beings, these Anunnaki beings, which feed from energy, okay, so they don't feed from food, they feed from energy. So they'd go into these pyramids to recharge. It was used for landing portals for coming in, for spaceships to come in. It was used for communication around the universe, used for many things. When the river from the inside would come up into the chambers into a certain way, it will make electronics round from the top, which was made of gold. Okay, this is where the eternal cross comes from. Yeah, when they harnessed their sexual energy from the heart chakra and they bounced it round, okay, they bounced it round from the Egyptian times to harness this sexual energy, which is so powerful. But some of these beings got the human race to work for them. Now, what happened is, when these beings recolonized and come back to the earth, some of the beings was very left brain, so very creative, very feminine. Some of them was very right sided, very logical, very male. This is where the out balance come, and this other race of beings that was fighting come down to the earth with the other beings, and this is where the fighting started. You heard of these galactic wars, you know this within Star Wars, tells you the truth through this, the Matrix tells you the truth through this, and if you've seen the new film Wonder Woman, this tells you the truth through this. So when these two beings, race of beings, come colonize, one was very right-sided, one was very left-sided, this confused the whole consciousness of the earth. Now, when these beings recolonized on the earth as a race and got back to in their groups, yeah, they was like, right, we've recolonized, they come for the gold. Why did they come for the gold? Because when you grind the gold up like that, very fine, and they inhale this is what rejuvenates their body and their cells, okay, the gold from the earth. And that's what was at the top of the pyramids, because it's a perfect conductor of electricity for its energy to enhance when they was in the pyramids. Now, when they tried to reascend back to their dimensional space, the fifth dimensional space, the consciousness of the earth was so low that these beings couldn't ascend. Both of them tried to ascend back to their original dimension to which they're from, but they couldn't. They got stuck in the grid around the earth. Now there's a grid, a matrix around the earth, because the consciousness of the humans was so low, because they got these humans to work for them and tried to enslave them, and they become this is where this splinter has become in the mind, because the humans have given away their free will, okay, and the consciousness has fell because they're not being self-sustaining beings and staying true to the one God, to the one creator. Now, when they tried to ascend, they got stuck, okay, so they're on a dimensional space just above this dimension which we're in, but one of them feeds from the emotional reactions of humans, of fear. One of them's playing the fear game. This old ancient energy wants to burn our earth out of all its natural resources, take the energy from the earth through the humans, let the humans do the work, burn it from its natural resources and move on to the next planet, okay? And it's just self-sustaining. I mean, it's self-superior and divide and conquer energy. This is how you see some humans on the planet. Some of the humans have the human race's best interest at heart as a collective. Some of them just have, some humans are very selfish and very egotistic and just want their own selfish interest at heart, and they don't give a shit about anyone else, you know, very sadly. But this is getting overridden by the love. Now there is the other beings, yeah, you might call these angelic beings, you know, Syrians, Palladians, all types of galactic essences now which are coming to the earth, and these beings are feeding from love. Okay, these are wanting the human race to raise their consciousness. Why? Because it's in their best interest, because these beings have got stuck on a band of frequency above the earth. They need the consciousness to get rid so they can be free and they can go back home. Yeah, so it's the truth is stranger than fiction. Now, this is why it's so important now to meditate, to connect, and to stay as one family and one God, and not go into fear. Okay, keep on that love vibration, keep on joy, keep on happiness, keep on morals and kindness, because when we're connected, these other entities cannot feed from our energy. They can only feed from fear. This is where the false flag operations come in, and you see things like 9/11 was probably one of the most famous and destructive ones, where there was mass fear made. So these other entities can feed from the fear, from the emotional reaction from humans. When there's no fear, they cannot survive, they cannot feed. Okay, so we will raise our consciousness up, and these beings will not be able to survive. They can only survive through us. We are direct children of Source, the highest form of love made flesh. Okay, we are the center of creation. Every other galactic race and race of beings is on off us. We're like the onion, we're like the pearl in the middle, and every other race is like, come on, you can do it, cheering the human race on. This is why you see UFOs in the sky doing all their work, beings within the inner earth doing their work, sending the energy out that way, but they can't do it for us. Okay, we need to do this for ourselves as a human race, to learn and to grow. It's like someone trying to take your driving test, putting you on the road, saying, I'll take your test for you, and boom, you jump in a car, next thing you crash. Yeah, because you've not gone through the process that you need to. Because when we go through this process and the human race raises this collective consciousness, the possibilities what we can do are going to be endless. Yeah. So this is why it's so important at this time to raise this consciousness for God, walking the earth, to go side by side like brothers and sisters. And these powers that be, who aren't really powers that be, they're just powers that be because we're giving away our power, being in fear, and let these other entities above these beings feed from this fear. Their days are numbered. We are waking as a human race, coming back into our natural state of love, truth and joy. Once we love each other, they lose. They're divide and conquer. Once we start to make these truthful talks, gathering in the name of love, community events, bringing it back to brother and sisterhood, into godhood, into our creator, living through us back into that hood of being. This is where the magic is. This is why it's so time. What a time to be alive right now. And the potential is in your hands to manifest this reality. Okay, every single person's thoughts now have created their reality. You, with your own thoughts, have created your reality and your perception of this now. But now you know the whole picture. Okay, so what a time to be alive. Okay, what a time to come together in unity and to wake up every single day and know that you can go out that door and make a change. Okay, now be in your truth. Okay, speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. If there is things that are niggling you, or there is someone that you want to message, that you want to connect with, now is the time to do it. There's no time for sitting on the fence. It's time to go. Yeah, it's time to go. Times of revelations, all the ancient calendars, all religions speak about this time. The weather systems are going off. There's movies being made at the minute. I just watched one on Netflix called The Messiah, all setting the backdrop for this time. Right now, people know it subconsciously. More people are starting to become conscious of this. There is a plan, and your soul knows that you are part of the most divine plan. What a time to come to this earth right now. So, that's it, man. Let's go. Meeting tomorrow, Tuesday, at the Larkhill. Okay, This is your time. It's time to gather for 2020 to bring peace to this earth, eternal peace forever, for every single child to come onto this earth safe and to live and be that beautiful, divine child that they came here to be and experience the paradise of what this earth is. Yeah, the potential of what we can do as a human race to change this planet. Yeah. It's magical, man. It is a magical time. So let's go. Hope it can help. Any questions, message us. If you want to come down to the meetings, you'll be able to ask questions and get a more in-depth answer and a more rounded answer to this and to anything else you want to know about these times right now. And you know, if you want to know your purpose or what you're here to do, then come along and, you know, experience that energy. Everyone is welcome. Yeah, look forward to seeing you and your people here to make and be this change. Peace.